What's up, YouTube? You already know it's your boy Sticks, and we're going back in the mix. Hey, check this out. If this is the first time you're coming across my channel, on this channel, I talk about everything crime related. Sometimes I'll tell you my lockup stories, but most of the time I'm doing reaction videos. If that sounds like something you're interested in, do me a favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. It would help out the channel, and I'd greatly appreciate it. So the title of this video is When Being Too Gangster Goes Wrong. So we're living in a day and age with social media to where people don't want to take L's. And they want to prove that they're living like that. But sometimes that'll cause you to make very bad decisions. And it could cost you your life. Let's get into this video and see what's going on. Come on.
And Christopher Collier IV sought to avenge the death of his brother, but in doing so murdered an innocent man on April the 25th of 2021. At around 5 p.m. on April the 22nd, Norman's brother, 19-year-old Cameron Collier, was shot to death in the driver's seat of his 2013 Honda Accord. The police indicated that the motive for the killing, which unfolded on Westlake Drive in DeSoto, Texas, was robbery. Rumors began to bubble up on social media, mistakenly pinpointing Lancaster resident Colby Graham as the killer. 3 days later, during a balloon release ceremony in Laziga Park, in Cameron's honor, Norman shot 20-year-old Graham in the head in retaliation for his brother's death. He was subsequently arrested and held on a $1 million bond. Several days later, Graham ended up succumbing to his gunshot wound. Law enforcement were 100% positive that Graham wasn't responsible for the Collier's loss. The spokesman for the local police department said that it was the first time in his career that rumors on social media caused the death of an innocent person. On May the 12th, authorities in Pleasant Grove apprehended Cameron's actual killer, a teenager with an extensive criminal record. The suspect was consequently charged with capital murder. According to court records, Norman was indicted by a grand jury on the same charge the following month.
So it seems like rumors were circulating on the internet saying that this is the man that killed your brother. He went to the funeral, smoked him, come to find out that's not even the person that did it. Could you imagine that? Not only did you kill the wrong person, but now you're getting ready to serve life for it. It's just crazy. You definitely need to think before you react. Give it a little bit of time. Make sure that you got the right person if you're willing to go sit down for the rest of your life. Now let's get into this next one. Come on.
The 29th of 2023, 31-year-old Idaho man Raul Alexander Cuevas murdered an individual in Nampa who was the prime suspect in an ongoing homicide investigation. A day prior at around 8:45 p.m., a 52-year-old woman by the name of Michelle E. Luna had reportedly passed away after being stabbed multiple times at her West Grouse Street residence. 39-year-old...
I wonder if that was a real picture of her. Did they just say 52? Because that girl did not look 52 at all. She looked super young.
Jesus R. Urrutia was immediately identified as the suspect and charged with first-degree murder. Shortly after 7 o'clock the following morning, law enforcement responded to a call about a man who'd been stabbed at a gas station. The victim was found slumped inside a vehicle while the engine was still running. He suffered a sharp force injury to the chest and was later identified as Urrutia. The latter was transported to a hospital by EMTs but was pronounced dead within the hour. Subsequently, 20 miles away from the station, Cuevas was arrested by Ada County Sheriff's deputies in connection with the suspected killer's death. He went on to reveal that Luna was his mother, and he thus targeted her killer in retaliation. The coroner's office officially ruled Urrutia's death a homicide. The suspect was taken into police custody on a charge of first-degree murder. At the time, authorities hadn't officially determined the motive behind the attack at the gas station, as the county sheriff's office said they were pursuing different leads. However, following Cuevas' apprehension, his unfortunate ties to Urrutia eventually came to light.
So, I'm really not sure what to think about that. Because if somebody takes your mom's life, of course you're going to want to retaliate. Look, when they killed my sister, I had an option. Even though I wasn't too sure who did it at that exact time, rumors were starting to circulate. And I could have just reacted off of emotions and probably went and hurt somebody that had nothing to do with it. But by the time I found out who really did it, they were already in lockup. So I can understand where the anger comes from when somebody takes your family member's life. The first thing that goes through your head is a life for a life. But if that's going to be the case, make sure that it's justified and make sure you got the right person. Because you don't want to be out here just hurting innocent people that had nothing to do with it. That's crazy.
On the 6th of 2019, the charred remains of 28-year-old Terrence Cole Jr. was found inside an abandoned car in Alcorn, Mississippi. Subsequent reports identified the man as a victim of a revenge killing for the death of 26-year-old Corinth man Jeffrey Moore. Authorities suspected Cole as the individual responsible for the disappearance and presumed murder of Moore, who was last seen by his family on October the 28th of 2019. Investigators revealed that 39-year-old David Rhodes, along with 2 accomplices, tracked Cole down, shot him, drove 6 miles away to Main Street and Buchanan in Corinth, and burned his body inside the vehicle. Days later, Rhodes was arrested and charged with murder, arson, tampering with evidence, and possession of a firearm by a felon. His partners in crime, 26-year-old Christina Gurley and Elisa Wilburn, aged 18, were arrested on November the 14th and charged with accessory after the fact and tampering with evidence. Moore's body was never found.
That's crazy because they got everybody that was involved, but yet the family can't even have a proper burial for their family member because people out here just going crazy for real.
Florida woman Charlotte Clisaris from Altoona sent indecent photos of herself to her ex's son on the afternoon of June the 6th of 2016. The incident occurred in the...
She sent nude pictures of herself to her ex's son. How wild and crazy is that? Come on.
Aftermath of the couple's contentious split, which was allegedly followed by repeated harassment of each other. 46-year-old Clisaris told the police she'd used Facebook to send 2 graphic pictures to the teenager. One of the explicit images reportedly included the teen's father as well. The woman claimed to have sent the photographs after her ex had...
Oh no. Could you imagine sitting there, you receive a message and it's your dad and basically your stepmom, and your stepmom sending you this so that it makes your dad mad? What type of women are out here? That's just, wow.
Threatened to leak a private video of her to her family. On September the 27th, Clisaris was arrested and booked at the Polk County Jail. Her attorney, Carmen Anderson, released a statement detailing how she'd been the victim of domestic abuse during her relationship with the ex in question. Anderson also posted an audio clip of Clisaris being threatened by the former flame, who vowed to get even after she'd called the cops on him. The woman was charged with dissemination and exhibition of obscene material to minors. She was released on a $1,000 bond. The county attorney's office ultimately declined to prosecute because there was a need for further investigation.
Now think about that. When these female teachers are doing these crazy acts with students and stuff like that, it seems like when it's a female and they're sending pictures to underage children, they kind of get a pass. You know what I mean? She had a $1,000 bond and there wasn't enough evidence to charge her, even though the pictures were on the boy's phone. But you be a man and try to send some pictures to an underage kid, and you're going to be all the way gone. And not only will the justice system send you away for years, but then when you get to lockup, you got to run PC because everybody in lockup's going to be trying to get after you. It's crazy. It's that double standard thing. You know, if you're a female, it's okay, we'll overlook it. But we're talking about minors, so nothing should be overlooked when it comes to the youth and our next generation. You know, it's crazy.
Of 2020, Shelvick Henry was shot in the back 3 times in Vero Beach, Florida, in retaliation for the 2018 murders of Christopher Thomas Jr. and Anthony Williams. Thomas and Williams, who went by the rap names YNW Juvie and YNW Sack Chaser, respectively, had allegedly been murdered by two members of their own hip-hop collective, Cortland YNW Portland Henry and Jamel YNW Melly Demons. The victim in the 2020 shooting, 43-year-old Shelvick Henry, was Cortland's father. He was shot at the Victory Park apartment on Lincoln Drive in Gifford and then transported to the Regional Medical Center in Fort Pierce. On September the 21st of 2020, a week after he had been shot, Shelvick was taken off a ventilator and told detectives that he had been shot by two black males. When officers showed him a photo lineup, he identified 18-year-old Travion Banks and Shaquem Parker. His statement matched several anonymous tips channeled through law enforcement. Banks and Parker were suspected to have targeted Shelvick Henry as retaliation for his son's involvement in the 2018 murders of the two rappers. 2 days after the identification, Banks was arrested by Indian River County deputies in the 1800 block of Old Dixie Highway and charged with first-degree attempted murder with a firearm. He was held at the county jail on a $250,000 bond. It is unclear what happened to the second suspect in the case, Shaquem Parker.
Now, here's the whole thing about the Melly case. The evidence is stacked against him. He's probably never going to get out again. You see the way they did ballistics and everything. They got his phone records. They just got way too much information on him to ever let him go. You know, I wish him the best of luck, but I never see him getting out of prison. You know, and it's a shame because he was really coming up. He could have really been a superstar. Even though he was already a star, he could have been really big. You know, helping out his family and everything. And he threw it all away. And now we know, I'm not sure when this video was made, but now we know the reason for the whole thing was because his homeboy was sending nudes to his girl and trying to get with his girl behind his back. So, it is what it is, but let's go. Come on.
26-year-old Jacqueline Here almost died after she ingested what she believed to have been bad drugs she'd purchased from a dealer. Several weeks later, her boyfriend, 30-year-old Jesse Clee, purchased a 9mm handgun and conspired with Here to jump the dealer in question. She called the latter on July the 25th and requested that they meet again at around midnight. The couple, together with two other unidentified individuals, hopped in a blue Ford Crown Victoria and went to the agreed-upon rendezvous point at Lake Worth Beach. In a residential neighborhood west of Federal Highway, Clee leaned over from the passenger seat and shot the drug dealer 4 times in the chest with the handgun. They then fled north near Interstate 95. To hide out from law enforcement, the group checked in at a Holiday Inn Express. The next day, Here was arrested by deputies from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office for possession of fentanyl and drug paraphernalia. After she was released on bond in connection with the drug charges, Here was then arrested again on July the 28th of 2022. She was charged as a principal to the dealer's murder for helping Clee, who was also arrested and charged with first-degree murder. The circuit court judge ordered that the couple be held in custody without bail.
Now let me just say this. Look, if you're in the streets and you're playing around with drugs right now, everything's got fentanyl in it. And I know there's people out there with the test strips and they test it before they take it and everything, but it's a crazy game. And just realize that you're playing Russian roulette with your life. Anytime you ingest something, you're playing Russian roulette. See, back when I was doing my thing, it was when the doctors were handing everything out. So it came straight from the pharmacy. We didn't have to worry about people pressing them. We didn't have to worry about people cutting them. Other than your wipe, yeah, it'll be cut with some baby lax or something. And the next day you'll be a mess. But still, we didn't have to worry about it being cut with fentanyl. Something that just the littlest piece can take your life. My advice would be, if you're in that lifestyle, get out. Because this is going to be a short-lived life. For real. And I've seen it too many times. I just lost another friend who didn't wake up, went to bed and didn't wake up. When will all this stop? When will people start to learn that this is poison? And I'm not going to say that the powers that be are putting it in there, but I do believe they are. I believe that they put it in the neighborhoods, they get people hooked to it, then they put poison in it and start wiping people out. Low income, people that deal in drugs, stuff like that. You talking about cleaning up the neighborhood by building nice buildings and condos and stuff. That's what they want to show you. But what they don't show you is all the people, lives that are affected by all the drugs that are put in the community. It's crazy. But hey, look, until next time, hold your head, stay away from drugs, and stay out of lockup.